Hello, dearies. It's me, Agnes Smith, Nomadic Fanatic's #1 fan. This is my little Eric Pooh's 4th video covering his vacation from his normal life, which for some would be considered a vacation. But this was no normal trip to the city that never sleeps. This was supposed to be a shoestring vacation on $500. When he even said that, I burst out laughing because we all knew that no one can vacation in Vegas on just $500. I mean, who picks one of the most expensive places to go on a budget vacation? Then I thought about it. What a novel idea! A series of videos where a person exploits deals, finds opportunities to enjoy expensive destinations on as little as $500. Then, my predictable little gnome with virtually unlimited passive income started behaving as he usually does, by throwing money straight away by dining at Dick's Last Resort, spending $50 for both himself and Blossom. Wait a minute, maybe they ordered soft drinks to save a little money. Nope. Blossom got a drink, and Eric just had to get himself that $18 leg glass. And I'm sure he tipped the waiter, so let's say he spent about $120 for dinner. Wow, that's already a huge chunk out of that $500 budget, and I am including the price of the round-trip tickets in this budget, which was $215. But if he and Blossom pace themselves, they have $165 to live off of for another 4 nights. Of course, they couldn't go to bed hungry, so they got some dipped cones at the Dairy Queen inside of the Excalibur. Why didn't they just eat at the Dairy Queen to save a little money? Oh well, down to $155. That's okay. It's still day #1. It's possible to ration $155 for 4 days, as long as they're not throwing money down on useless trinkets. Oh, Eric, $145. Day 2, they have approximately $145 to play with. Gotta have breakfast, I guess. Iced coffees and donuts for 2. Let's say $15. Down to $130. Hey, everybody's gotta eat after all. They'll probably wait until dinner to eat. No, they're having brunch at the Bellagio. $80. Well, it's still doable, as long as they don't spend the money on anything too expensive. Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, $300? Are you serious, Eric? This is barely day 2 and you've already spent your $500 budget. Of course seats weren't enough. You had to buy drinks and popcorn too? Hell, am I not surprised? Of course, Eric had to see the Wizard of Oz to pay respects to his people, the Munchkins. Day 3, farting around Fremont Street. So that day, they were eating sensibly at small eateries. I know he's in the negative, but who wants to do nothing in Vegas for 3 days? And I thought, finally, he's going to tighten up and live a little more sensibly. That's, of course, until he blew over $20 on pressed pennies. He just had to buy all 8 varieties of pennies at each machine just to fill up that stupid penny book at the hotel. Then he bought a $50 Harley-Davidson t-shirt and mentions that it's his 98th. Magnets? Pressed pennies? T-shirts? Does he have to collect everything? Like, is he on the spectrum?
The doctor said I could be on the spectrum.
I don't know what that is, but get off it pronto.
What's next for my little Eric? Collecting blood slides? But let's focus on what he said. He keeps track of how many Harley-Davidson t-shirts he has bought. That's a little weird on its own. Like we've covered, he collects them. Let's say that the Vegas t-shirt was a little pricey because it's Vegas and the other 97 were around $35 each. That means he spent $3,395 on Harley-Davidson t-shirts alone. Where is he keeping them? And with that much money, he can certainly afford a better wardrobe instead of those nasty gray shorts. Day 4, so he's sitting probably around -$400. At this point, who's fooling anyone? Buffet for 2 for $68. They're trying to get their money's worth because they won't eat again until later that night when they spend $200 for front row seats at the Tournament of Kings show. Eric was especially excited because he gets to eat his food with his bare hands, just like a 44-year-old toddler. When you're that close to the action, sometimes the horse kicks the dirt into the air and it lands into your drink and food. I bet that kind of reminded Eric of the kiddies back in the RV. At 14 minutes, this was a surprisingly short video for Eric, and a good deal of it was something of real interest provided by the show. In the end, because Eric never mentioned the hidden resort fees, I estimate that he's paid around $1,500 in Vegas, which I think is actually a modest number for Vegas. And if he said a $1,500 budget, I wouldn't have had to make this video. But he said a $500 budget, which is a difficult budget, but not impossible. We're talking about Vegas here, where a bottle of water can run $15. Like I said earlier, this would have been an interesting idea for a series of videos, trying to enjoy a vacation to some of the most expensive places on a shoestring budget, itemizing everything they spend, finding things to do that are completely free. But these last videos weren't about that at all. It was just an excuse to spend 5 days in Vegas, eat, drink, and experience things that most of us can't afford. You saw there was very little people in those videos. The streets aren't busy. That's because Vegas is running off the everyday tourist and catering to the high rollers. That's why the price of everything is going up. The hotel fees are going up. They're being creative in inventing new fees. They don't want regular customers. But somehow, Nomadic Fanatic has no problem in Vegas. Here's what his audience had to say. Weird how you both changed clothes to play video games and then changed back for the dinner show. The guy behind you with the blinking horns on his Viking helmet, he's in the wrong century. Vikings and knights didn't exist at the same time. Wow, you sure can do so much in Vegas for $500, laughing out loud. Looked really cool. Better not hear any complaining on how much the bus cost to fix. Starts Vegas vacation pinching pennies just so he can waste dollars.
You have the best videos.
That buffet is disgusting.
Tater haters are losing their minds over Eric and Diana having fun in Vegas.
For your information, corn was a New World crop not available in Europe. Who cares? Me and the natives of my country! Dude's been on 4 vacations in like a month. I've been on 1 vacation in 4 years. His whole life is a vacation. $32 for brunch. Yikes! I remember when food was the only reasonable price things in Vegas. They are doing it on a budget. Ha! This is produced by Patrick Johnson. I think that's different than Peter Jackson. I love waking up in the morning and watching your videos over a cup of coffee and some breakfast. To be honest, after learning Stephen Colbert is writing the new Lord of the Rings movie, I think Patrick Johnson might be a better choice to run the franchise. And here's comments aimed at yours truly. That's hilarious that you think there's gonna be a trial. 99% of these cases are pre-bargained. I hope that you're not American, because if you are, you're showing your major ignorance toward our court systems and how they work, especially since COVID. You should probably educate yourself, and while you're at it, get yourself some help, because you are majorly mentally unstable if you're going to dedicate a whole channel to harassing someone and making things up in your head. Assaults happen every day, and it's no biggie. It's a misdemeanor, and it's nothing. So he had a drunken moment after he had quit drinking for a while. He's never done anything like that since he had his channel, and you're blowing this way out of proportion as you do because you're a drama queen with no life. This reads like something very personal, like Eric himself wrote this, explaining that assaults happen every day and it's not a big deal. Most of his fans don't acknowledge that he punched anyone in courtside, or their comments are quickly erased before they see the light of day. It intrigued me that this person knew the court system like the back of their hand, like an ex-felon would. Have a blessed day, oh Darius. For Nomadic Fanatic's #1 fan. Be sure to like, hype, and subscribe!